G'day guys, it's Rick here from Tips and Ratings, just our ratings wrap for Blue Diamond Day, February the 28th. We stuck to Caulfield today and avoided Sydney just due to the sticky sort of track. We bet around 30 units and got back 29.39 out and 31.63 back for a profit of 2.25 units, which is 8% on turnover for the day. And we'll just start with race one. Top rater was Armada, who was well backed and looked to have every chance and sort of did no good. Honoris was a little bit the same. The winner here was Rommel over from Perth. It worked home well down the outside, and as you can see, it was sort of ranked third on class and on top of speed. Sort of knocked it back a little bit. I probably could have had it a little bit shorter, but we snuck it in anyway, and it just got there in the end. So in the end, we bet 3.05 on that race and got back 5.5. So we picked up 2.5 units on race one, with Rommel getting their way. In race two, we basically took on Tycoon Tara and Girl Guide here, and they walked early, and it was quite a slow pace, and Tycoon Tara rounded them up and got to the front and was too good in the end. We dropped 3.34 units, and we had second, third and fourth, but unfortunately we were unable to secure the win. Benaria was probably a little bit stiff. I think it could have finished a bit closer, and I'd certainly pace to follow her getting out to a mile and probably in a bigger field. Excuse me. Look, we missed the boat here on Sabatini, and the more I look at it, I guess the more you look back at things, you can tweak things and whatnot. But look, she was a bit too good, and she won well. Wollongong Sama tested for a big result, marked 550, and was sort of on at $17, and she worked her way around to the front and boxed on quite well, I thought, but certainly is a grade below these better fillies. She did have fitness on her side and was advantaged by her positioning run here. But we sort of did no good there, and Fontaine Ruby stuck on pretty well for third. So we bet 2.17 there and didn't get anything back. We backed Alpine Eagle here, and he probably was the run of the day. His win in Adelaide was superb, and he came over here and I guess he didn't look like ever winning until the last 10 metres. So, he certainly hit the line quite well, and he looks to have a very bright future. He wasn't our best result. He was our second worst result. So we just made a small profit on the race. Firehouse Rock would have been a good result. He looked home for all money, but stopped. And we had Magical, who sat outside the leader, and he boxed on pretty well. He ran fourth, and he's a runner I'd be keeping an eye on. I'd expect will probably have considerable improvement going into his next run. So we bet 4.37 there and got back 5.7. On to the next race, took on Dissident, was just way too short at $1.60. We backed 5 horses to beat him, and we ended up getting Smoke and Joey second, and Suavito was the winner. So, that was pretty good. She was $13 top fluck and backed in, and I'm not sure what happened to Dissident or what will happen in the wash-up, but he was pretty disappointing. If he was sort of in the form he was last year before he bled, he clearly would have had these covered. So he's clearly not back to his best, the horse. But Suavito was sensational. It's sort of hard to knock her. She was just way too good. So we had quite a small outlay there, 1.76 out, and got back 5.4. So we doubled our money on that race. On to the next. I guess throughout the whole week it was, what do we do with Protectionist? He came out $2.90, and that's about what he started, so I probably wasn't alone with that assessment. I sort of mucked up the assessment here of Mourinho. He had a few big spikes on the speed, which we put a heavy emphasis on Saturdays, and I probably went the wrong way with it, which was costly, and in the end, probably got this one wrong. It's probably the one I got wrong for the day, where I had a decision to make and went the wrong way. Look, he was just too good, the winner, and we got it wrong. And look, I thought Happy Trails was really good. He kept working home well, and Au Revoir was pretty good. He boxed on well on pace, and certainly he's a horse with better form over further. So he looks like he's in for a good campaign. So we dropped 3.66 there. Onto the Oakley Plate, and we're all quite different to the market here. You know, we had Atmospherical and Earthquake, you know, quite long in our market, and as you can see there, they were a lot shorter during the betting, and they sort of didn't run very well, and that made the market for the others. And the winner was Shamal Wind, and she motored home down the outside. Iconic was the top raider. He really didn't do a great deal, and another good value runner we backed was Under the Louvre, the other smoothing runner, and probably just getting stuck on the inside. Maybe he was given a bit too good of a ride from barrier 12, and I think being on the fence by this time of the day wasn't generally where you wanted to be. And had he been able to get to the outside, he certainly may have finished a bit closer. So that was a pretty good race for us. The first 3 over the line were value runners, and one of our long-time members was able to secure the first 4 on Tats for half a unit, paid $37,000. So great bet there, mate. Well done. On to the next race, which was the Blue Diamond, and look, I sort of took a stand against the Colts, and it bit us in the arse. Sort of went pretty heavy here on the fillies, backed Phonaton the Wind back there, a parent each way, and also backed a few other horses, including Remar, marked at 67 and sort of on around 200 to 1, and it lost by a head. So, you know, the margin between getting something right and getting something wrong is obviously quite narrow in this game, and this is one of the occasions where the bob of the head didn't go our way, but you know, we just sort of, that's what we do, and sort of can't knock the winner. He was just too good, and he overcame some difficulties to get the win, and he looks a nice horse, and the runner-up still lightly raced, and you know, it was sort of coming off some modest figures. As you can see there, the winner was 3rd on our class, but I sort of weighted this market more heavily to the speed, which I do for the younger horses, and on this occasion it wasn't fruitful for us, but it almost was. And then on to race 9, I believe. Yep, the lucky last, and we bet 2.81 here and got back about 6.5, so we picked up 3.7. Forward index lip was really good last start. I guess you can, you know, run different reports on different things and look into things, you know, deeply, but the reality was, you know, that sort of his speed figure last start had, you know, said he was a winner all over next time out, and he was just a little bit too good. I thought Big Memory, I could have had him on top, but just the 60 and second up, I sort of was a bit cautious with him, and in the end that was a good move. And Extra Zero, he ran on really well for second, and Spurtonic died in the backside after running along and did no good. But nice to finish with a win with index linked to it was a nice little over to get us out of trouble. Probably looking at a loss of around 4 to 5 units on the day had that winner not got up in the last. So to get up in the last and pick up a couple of units was nice on a day where we, you know, almost won a lot more. So pretty happy with today. Caulfield did play a little bit funny, and you know, I was sort of getting off the fence and whatnot. So I'm not sure, you know, what will happen there. We'll have a look at that in the rack when we look at all the stuff next week. But yeah, good day in all on Blue Diamond Day, and we always want to win more money, but we're happy to make a small profit today and not get beat. So thanks for listening, and all the best.